Hey guys, I've had a few questions regarding this little or enormous monstrosity here, and I figured maybe I should make a video on it. Now this is this is my pride and joy of my video game collection. It's the Sony PSX. I love this thing. More than words can describe. It's ridiculous, and it's unhealthy for a grown man to love something this much, especially considering it's inanimate. Although I swear sometimes it talks to me. Anyway, yeah, the Sony PSX. A lot of you are probably wondering what this is, and rightfully so. The Sony PSX is effectively a PlayStation 2 with a digital video recorder built in, or perhaps more accurately, a digital video recorder with a PS2 built in. This is if you see the little the model number there, it's the DESR-5100. Now, there is a higher one up than this with a bigger hard drive, but considering I don't do a lot of recording on it, there's no point really. But the idea was that you'd have this as the sole unit, I guess, in your entertainment centre. So you could put your TV through it, use it as, is it like TiVo that the Americans have? That kind of thing, the Sky Plus thing, just record all your programs and also play your games willy-nilly as you choose. Also it burns CDs and all that sort of thing. But it was the first console, at least, that isn't portable, that uses Sony's XMB, the cross-media bar, much like the PS3, which was really cool. So it's got that interface going for it. And there is a lot to this thing, so I'll try and cover it as quickly as possible. So you see on the front here the feature set. There's a lot to it. It obviously plays CDs, DVDs, it plays DVD rewritables. But yeah, I think it burns the DVD as well, which is really cool. But it's a lot like the PS3 with the cross-media bar. Also, it's sort of online enabled, and there were stores made available by certain game companies. I know Capcom's got one, I think Hudson had one as well. I haven't been able to access them because obviously this thing's purely in Japanese, as that's the only place they came out. And I don't know whether they're still actually running. But yeah, so let's take a closer look. Unlike your PlayStation, it actually has the quick game button, which is basically like booting back to the main menu on your PS3 or Xbox. So if you want to quit to the main menu without turning off the XMB, without turning the system off, you just punch that button there. And then after that, eject or whatever. If you check the little flap at the front here, is that going to come off? Sounds like it's going to snap. There we go, pop that down. You've got your two memory card slots, like a standard PlayStation 2. Some of the remote control buttons are on here, just so you can watch your DVDs, up, down, left, right, and enter. A USB socket and a Sony memory stick socket. Pretty standard stuff. While I'm showing you that, I'll just pop this out. So let's go up here. This is the remote that comes with it. And again, it's all pretty straightforward. You can actually navigate the menus, like I say, Sony's cross-media bar using the controller. And it's got the triangle, the circle, the X, and the square on there as well. So you can navigate menus with this. If you want to be a complete maniac, I'm sure you could probably have a go at playing something with it, but it's pointless because it's missing most of the buttons. But yeah, it just generally operates as a TV/DVD remote, so there's nothing particularly unusual about it, other than the fact that it's just really fucking cool. So let's have a look. A little bit of Japanese text. Yeah, if your camera picks that up, it's got PSX engraved there. So let's have a look at the back of the system. This is where things start to get even more interesting. So you've got some lights at the back. And also, all your slots and ports. So I'm going to get this thing off. So pop that off like that. Turn it around. And what this does is gives you easy and immediate access to all this crap. So obviously you power it up. Fibre optic out. That right there is what they call a D terminal. Now it outputs, to the best of my knowledge, at the same quality as a component cable, but these were unique to Japan, and I think they do still use them. I think they're made by Sony, if I'm not mistaken. But when I actually bought this, it just came with a SCART cable, and considering you can output it in component, that seemed quite pointless. So I got the D terminal, and now it just looks really good on the big screen TV, which is great. You've got a composite output, an S-video output, and your sound, and you've got a composite input and an S-video input, obviously with the sound as well. Reason being, you can actually, like I say, you can capture your television on this using those aerial things there, or alternatively, you can do what I do sometimes, which is just pop another console in there and capture it to this, and either play back those movies capture videos anytime you want, or connect it to something else and sort of upload them, which is what I do. You know, it's really cool. One of the cool features as well is basically because it's effectively a digital video recorder. I'll give you an example of what I did. I plugged Mega Man Anniversary running on the PS2 into the back of this, and basically what it was, instead of having the background running, it plays whatever you've got running through there. So if it's TV, it'll play that, and in my case it was Mega Man, it will play that. So while I was navigating the menus, I had Mega Man running in the background, and it's just, I will show some footage of that. It's so fantastic. You know, it's a complete gimmick. There's no need for it, but it's just so awesome. You've got your two PlayStation 2 controller sockets, much like the PS2. And much like the PS2 as well, of course, this will play back all your Japanese PlayStation 1 games as well. What's particularly cool about it, let's just pop this down. What's particularly cool is that it comes with its own controller. And let's have a look at this little bad boy. There you go. Just a nice white DualShock controller. But it is specifically for the PSX. I think it says it somewhere on there, but again, camera's not going to pick that up, I don't think. But it says DESR-10, and it is a specific one to the PSX. And you might be wondering, like, other than the fact that it's got that print on the back, why would anyone care? And I'll show you why. If I can unravel the lead. Basically, you are blessed with an enormous cable. Can you see that running along there? Now, because the ports are at the back, you know, you need additional length on this thing. So what you do is plug it in at the back and have it trailing across your room, and it works perfectly. It's weird that the controller ports are at the back, but at the same time, they've compensated for it with the extra long lead. Obviously, your PlayStation 2 controllers will work with it, and yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know, that white controller is just absolutely awesome. It really is. This came packaged in the box as well. You know, I almost didn't want to take it out, but I thought, I paid a lot of money for this, paid about 400 quid for it, and you know, naturally I wanted to use it, so there it is. Just really nice, and again, it, you know, it matches with the controller and that. It's just really cool. But yeah, this is, as I say, the Sony PSX, which, you know, a lot of people may view as a complete waste of money, but I love this thing. Like I say, it's a total collector's item. But also I wanted, you know, a Japanese PlayStation 2 and a PlayStation 1, and you know, this sort of sealed the deal with that, sorted out for me. As I've said, it is enormous and it weighs an absolute ton. So I'll give you some sort of perspective here. We've got the enormous PSX, a standard PS2, and then the slim PS2. I don't know if that gives you a good idea of the size difference here, but if you check it out when I stack it on top, it's quite the difference. And like I say, it is enormous, it's really heavy, and it makes a hell of a noise when you boot it up. But again, to me, that's just part of the awesomeness of this. It's just fantastic hearing it hum away, and it certainly doesn't sound like a regular PS2, which is also cool. So as with any system, it's only as good as its games, and as you can see, there are a whole bunch of games that are exclusive to Japanese PlayStations, I should say, or Japanese PS2s. And I'll just quickly run through some of these. A couple of them aren't exclusives, or aren't Japanese exclusives, because they came bundled with it. Sega Rally 2006 is an exclusive. You can only get that in Japan. Sega Rally Championship bonus disc that comes with it, the original 1995 game, arcade perfect port. You can't get that anywhere else. The Knights, I think remake's really the correct term, but the slightly upscaled, smoother version, and it features a port of the Saturn version as well, which is pixel perfect. That's exclusive. Namco Cross Capcom. There's so much to be said about that. I won't even start, but it's immense. We've got here Transformers Takara, again exclusive. Darkstalkers Collection, or I think it's called, Vampire Darkstalkers Collection, because it's called Vampire in Japan. Metal Gear Solid 2 came with it, substance. King of Colosseum, Japanese wrestling games, obviously only available in Japan. Virtua Fighter 10th Anniversary, I think this also came out in America bundled with Virtua Fighter 4. Let's have a look. All-Star Pro Wrestling, that is amazing. The animation on that is so slick, it's incredible. King of Colosseum Red, what was it called? King of Colosseum, I can't remember what that one's called, but there's two versions. There's 01 and there's that one. Might be Noah. Bomberman Wars, a Bomberman RPG, yes, The Sickness is that deep. Turbo Number 2, the Japan exclusive sequel to the Great Turbo game. That's also amazing, by the way. Way of the Samurai, that's not so good. Came through with it. not exclusive. Fire Pro Wrestling Z, again exclusive to Japan. This here, it's really annoying because I always forget the name of this, but I can tell you exactly what it is. If you've played the Day of Reckoning games for the GameCube, it's that game engine. A couple of years later, sort of modified to make it better with all Japanese wrestlers. It's absolutely brilliant. If you love Day of Reckoning 1 and 2, you will love that. Katamari Damacy, the original Katamari game, which is Japan exclusive. And this one, which I forget the name of, something like Dream TV Battle or something. It's a Daft game from Hudson. It's basically a rip-off of Super Smash Bros. Featuring really unlikely characters like a dude from Bloody Raw, Bomberman, and for some reason, Optimus Prime. But no other Transformers. It's just really, really strange. But, you know, that's Japanese gaming all over for you. And that's precisely why I like it.
Dan W. 5, 4, 7.